Hello, welcome back. It's been a while. My name's Rachel, and today I'm going to be making pork belly sinigang, which is going to be the first episode in this season called Sour Sago, where I'll be exploring the sour element in different Filipino dishes. And I don't think there's any better dish to start off with than sinigang. In my sinigang, I am going to be using green beans, although you can use long beans or sitaw if you have access. And I'm also going to be using an onion, tomatoes, whole taro or gabi, spinach, or you can use a green that you prefer, and daikon radish. What's particularly beautiful is how these flavors come from what the land gives us. In sinigang, the sourness comes not from a vinegar, but a fruit. For this sinigang, tamarind is going to be lending its sourness to the broth, and although it's from a packet, it still originally came from a tamarind nonetheless. Sinigang can also be made with guavas or even pineapple or apples. I have been asked a few times whether I've been able to make sinigang from fresh fruits, and I have tried before, but I have really never been disappointed when I've used a packet, so I don't think that using a packet is anything to be ashamed of at all. In the sinigang today, I'm going to be using pork belly, but my mom often uses pork neck bones. I really like the softness of the pork belly meat, and I think that it gives the broth a really nice flavor. I find it hard to describe the taste of sinigang because it's really distinct, but Doreen Fernandez wrote that the perfect sinigang tartness is sour enough to savor, to make the lips pucker, and the eyes squint slightly, and yet not too sour. And so in my sinigang, I brown the pork belly a bit in a little bit of oil, and then also add in the onions and tomato and mix this up a bit before then adding the water. And from this point is when the broth really starts to develop and to also cook the meat. And so at this time, I'll prep the other vegetables. Doreen Fernandez also famously said that she believed sinigang to be the best representation of Filipino cuisine rather than adobo. She talked about how sinigang shines a light on the people's use of the bounty that our land provides us, and it's evidence of how innovative Filipinos really are to take simple ingredients from nature and transform them into a complex flavor. She said, the Filipinos' appreciation for the bounty of sea and land quite clearly grows out of his peasant closeness to the land. And we can see this is so accurate because sinigang is really a versatile dish. You can really use a variety of different proteins, different meat or fish, and you can also put whichever vegetables you have access to. For me, a very important component to my sinigang is this gabi. And I've used also like larger pieces of taro that are pre-cut from the store, but I much prefer this gabi. It's really sweet and like has this creamy texture and flavor that I really, really like. Also, me and my cousins would, growing up, like actually fight over the pieces of gabi in the sinigang, so this is definitely something I need to have in my recipe. Sinigang is just one of a multitude of variations of sour stews in the Philippine Islands. Others include bulanglang bayabas from Pampanga, which uses guavas, and tola in Visayas, which is a sour fish head soup that's made with calamansi and tomato. Did you grow up eating a sour stew? If so, let me know in the comments below. The process of adding the vegetables to the sinigang is that we're going to do it in order of what takes longer to cook. So I'm putting in my spinach kind of like at the last minute because it will really only take a minute or so to wilt. Here in the US, I mostly crave sinigang when it gets cold out, but in the warm climate of the Philippines, sinigang honestly has a cooling effect. I can't explain why, but I did read that in Ayurveda, sour fruits have a cooling effect on the body. For me, there's something very sacred and ritualistic to pouring sinigang over warm rice and setting up that perfect bite with meat and gabi and vegetables and rice. If you enjoyed watching me make pork belly sinigang today, please click on that like button so that I know what you enjoy, and click on that subscribe button to see the next episode of Sour Sago on the Sago Show. My name's Rachel. Salamat.